Want to hit every shot in your favorite FPS game? Whether you're playing Valorant, CS2, Apex, or Call of Duty, landing your shots consistently comes down to 3 core mechanics: crosshair placement, movement control, and precision aiming. But there's more to it than just that. Today, I'm going to break down everything you need to know to improve your aim, eliminate bad habits, and start dominating your opponents. Let's get into it. Step 1. Crosshair placement. Aim smarter, not harder. Crosshair placement is the #1 thing that will instantly make you a better player. If you're constantly dragging your crosshair up or down to adjust to enemies, you're wasting precious milliseconds. Instead, always keep your crosshair at head level and pre-aim common angles. For example, when you're peeking around a corner, don't just swing wide and react to enemies. Instead, anticipate where they'll be and have your crosshair already positioned at that spot. This way, when they appear, all you have to do is click. Pre-aiming reduces your reaction time and makes every shot faster and deadlier. If you're always aiming at the ground or at body level, you're making aiming way harder than it needs to be. A great drill for crosshair placement is to load into a custom game or training range and practice moving through a map while keeping your crosshair at head level at all times. Train yourself to instinctively keep your aim where enemies are likely to be. Step 2. Movement control, the secret to perfect accuracy. A lot of players miss their shots not because their aim is bad, but because their movement is ruining their accuracy. In most FPS games, if you're moving while shooting, your bullets spread wildly and you lose precision. The key is knowing how to move correctly and when to stop. This is where counter-strafing comes in. When you strafe left or right, tap the opposite movement key just before shooting. This will stop you instantly, reset your accuracy, and allow you to fire a perfect shot. This is especially important for semi-automatic and burst weapons. If you've ever wondered why pro players seem to land every shot while moving, it's because they've mastered counter-strafing ***. But movement control isn't just about stopping when you shoot. It's also about positioning yourself in fights. Try to take duels where you have cover nearby, limit your exposure to multiple angles, and use movement tricks like jiggle peeking and jump peeking to gather information before committing to a fight. If you're standing still in the open, you're a free kill. Step 3. Precision aiming, flicks, tracking, and mouse control. Now, let's talk about precision aiming, which is split into 2 main types, flicking and tracking. Flicking is when you quickly snap your crosshair onto an enemy, usually for single-shot weapons like snipers or pistols. Flicks are all about muscle memory and speed, so practicing them in an aim trainer like Kovacs or Aim Lab can make a huge difference. One of the best drills for flicking is grid shot training, where you rapidly click on different targets appearing on the screen ***. Tracking, on the other hand, is about smoothly following a moving target, which is crucial for automatic weapons like rifles and SMGs. Good tracking means staying locked onto an enemy while they strafe, jump, or sprint, ensuring that every bullet lands. One of the best ways to improve tracking is to practice in your game's training mode or a dedicated aim trainer with moving targets. Step 4. Sensitivity settings, finding your perfect aim. Aiming is heavily influenced by your sensitivity settings. If your sensitivity is too high, you'll constantly overcorrect and struggle to hit small, precise shots. If it's too low, you won't be able to react quickly enough. The key is finding a balance that allows both fast flicks and controlled tracking. A good rule of thumb is that your full mousepad swipe should turn you about 180 degrees in-game. This gives you control while still allowing for quick adjustments. If you're unsure, look up the sensitivity settings of pro players in your game and try using a similar setup. Just remember that lower sensitivity usually leads to better long-term accuracy. Step 5. Recoil control, mastering your spray pattern. In most FPS games, automatic weapons have a predictable recoil pattern. Instead of just holding down fire and hoping for the best, learn how your weapon kicks and pull your mouse in the opposite direction to counteract it. For example, in games like Valorant and CS2, rifles like the Vandal and AK-47 have a recoil pattern that pulls up and then moves side to side. To counter this, you need to drag your mouse down slightly while firing and adjust for any horizontal movement. The best way to practice recoil control is to go into a training map and fire at a wall. Try to keep your shots as tightly grouped as possible. Step 6. Mindset and warm-up routines, the key to consistency. If you really want to improve your aim and hit more shots, you need to build a solid warm-up routine and stay mentally focused. Before hopping into a match, take 10 to 15 minutes to warm up. This could be a mix of aim training, bot practice, or even just playing a quick deathmatch. The goal is to get your hands warmed up and your reaction speed sharp before you enter a serious game. Skipping warm-ups is like trying to play a sport without stretching. You'll be slower, stiffer, and less accurate. Beyond that, your mental state matters more than you think. If you're frustrated, tired, or tilted, your aim will suffer. Stay calm, take breaks when needed, and always analyze your mistakes instead of blaming bad luck. The best players aren't just mechanically skilled, they're also mentally strong and consistent. Step 7. Drills and practice routine: how to train like a pro. If you want to truly take your aim to the next level, you need a structured practice routine. Here's a simple one you can follow. 10 minutes of flick training, Kovacs grid shot, aim lab, or bots in your game. 10 minutes of tracking training, smooth target tracking drills or in-game practice. 10 minutes of recoil control practice, spray control drills in your game's training mode. 10 minutes of crosshair placement training, moving through maps, pre-aiming common angles. If you do this for 30 to 40 minutes a day, you'll see massive improvements over time. Final thoughts: go out and dominate. At the end of the day, aiming isn't just about reaction speed, it's about technique, muscle memory, and good habits. If you focus on crosshair placement, movement control, precision aiming, and practice the right way, you'll start landing way more shots. Now get out there, put these tips into practice, and start dominating your games.